Hello guys, how are you? I hope you guys have been doing great. It is such a long break since the breakout of a COVID-19. However, this is a great opportunity that we have the chance to join together again to continue the process of teaching and studying so that it won't waste your time. Alright, so today's topic we are going to talk about the topic that we have covered in class already. This is a big and necessary review for all of you before we can move on one step forward to new lessons, right? And the topic is about sentence skills, sentence structure. So do you still remember what a sentence is all about? Okay, I hope you guys still remember what we explained, what we discussed in the classroom. Alright, let's move on then. What is it? What is a simple sentence? This is the first question. This is a very important knowledge for all of academic writing students. They need to understand, know, and be able to write sentences in English so that they can produce pieces of text later in the forms of paragraphs, in the forms of essays writing, in the forms of other types of text later in their life. But everything must start with the basic simple sentence structure, and here we have got the questions in the displays. What is a simple sentence? All right, good. Who knows what a simple sentence is? This is the answer. A simple sentence refers to a collection of words which consists of at least a subject, a verb, and a complete thought. So this is the definitions of a simple sentence. All right, I repeat again. A simple sentence or a sentence is a collection of words, which means it is a group of words. Okay, a group of words which simply refer to a combinations of more than two words onwards. All right, so a sentence is a collection of words, or is a group of words, or is a combination of words which consists of at least a subject, a verb, and a complete thought. All right, so this is the definition of a sentence, and you need to remember this. All right, good. What is more? This is the formula. Above it is the definition. Please do not get confused the sentence definition with its formula. When we are talking about formula, we are talking about sentence equal to subject plus verb plus complement. But when we are talking about a sentence definition, we are talking about a combination of words which consists of a subject at least, a verb at least, and a complete thought. All right, so actually they are almost the same, but we just refer to it differently. All right, so when we are talking about a sentence formula, we are talking about three important elements, including subject, verb, and complement. And you see that the complement is put in brackets. What does that mean? It simply means sometimes it can be taken out and sometimes it can be put in. All right, so it is optional. It depends on the types of sentence you are writing, the verbs that you choose to write in your sentences. All right, let's move on. What is a simple sentence continues? And the formula of a simple sentence is shown just right under the titles. Sentence equals subject plus verb plus complement. Okay, now let's see some examples of a sentence. We eat. All right, is it a sentence? We ate. Is it a sentence? This is what I'm asking you. Is it a sentence? What do we have here? We have subject we, and we have ate as our verb, but all together we have got two words. Okay, is it a collection of words now? Yes, it is. But is it a sentence? All right, let's see. Now we have got we eat bread. First we have we eat, and second we have we eat bread. There is a difference in that the first one doesn't contain the word bread, but the second one is contains bread, right? But what is the difference? Let's see these ones. She reads. Is it a sentence? She reads a book. Is it also a sentence? And how is it different from the previous ones? Alright. Okay, let's see some more. They cook and they cook meals. Please do a comparisons. Please do a comparison. They cook and they cook meals. You see? One is without meals and the other one is with meals at the end. And we have she buys. And we have she buys a car. We have he runs. And we have John walks. We have you come and we have I coughed. So things. We have so many examples of sentences here, but not all of them are correct. Okay, so according to your understanding based on our previous class, so what do you think? We eat, is it a sentence? Not really, right? We eat is not a sentence, even though it is a combination of words, because it's simply a combination of two words. And we have got a subject, we have got a verb, but we still need one more component, which is a complete thought. Okay, now we eat. Do you think it is a complete thought? No, right? It is not a complete thought. So we have only a subject and a verb, but no complete thought. That is why it is not a sentence. How do we know whether a sentence has a complete thought or not? Let's think. Let's see the second example. We eat bread. Okay, if the verb, the main verb in that sentence is not full in meaning, we say that that sentence is not a complete thought. But if the verb or the main verb in that sentence has got complete meaning, we also say that the whole sentence has got a complete thought. All right, and in order to know whether a verb has full meaning or not, this is the way that we test. We can test. Eat. Now, is it possible for you to eat if you do not have anything to eat? No, right? We cannot eat if we do not have anything to eat, right? Just like we eat in the first example, we eat. How can we? Is it possible to eat? But what do you eat? Can you answer? You cannot, because you do not have anything to eat. You just have we, and you have eat, and then is it possible to eat? It is not possible to eat. You see, it is not possible to eat. In order to be possible to eat, you need to have something to eat. Like in the second example, we eat bread. You see, we eat bread. In the second example, bread is something that we eat. Is it possible to eat now? Yes, because we have something for eating in the second example, and that is why it is possible to eat. So the verb eat has got complete meaning or full meaning now. It makes sense now, right? So when the verb has got full meaning or it makes sense, and then we say the whole sentence also expresses a complete thought. Now I have got a questions for you. Between the first sentence and the second sentence, we eat and we eat bread. Which one makes sense to you? Which one makes sense? The first or the second one? The second one, right? Yes, because the first one we cannot perform the action simply because we do not have anything to eat, right? So the first one is not a sentence, and the second one is a sentence. And the second pairs of sentences is the same. She reads. What does she read? Is it possible to read without having something to read? No, it is not possible to read without having something to read, right? But what about in the next example? She reads a book. Does she have something to read? Yes, she does. What does she have for reading? She has a book, right? So is it possible to perform the actions of reading now? Yes, of course, it is possible to perform the actions of reading. All right, so the second one makes sense, whereas the first one does not make any sense. And therefore, we conclude that the first one, she read, is not a sentence, where the second one is a sentence. All right. Okay, next pairs of sentences. They cook and they cook meals. Which one makes sense? Which one doesn't make sense? The same, right? They cook meals makes sense, and they cook doesn't make sense, simply because we don't know what you cook. How can you cook without having anything to cook? Right? That's why the sentence they cook doesn't have any full meaning, any meaning. It doesn't make any sense, and it is not a sentence. They cook meals is a sentence simply because it's expressed is a complete thought. All right, because we know that we have got something for cooking and we can cook. All right, good. She buys a car. The same. She buys. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't. Simply because we don't know what she buys. You see, she buy. What does she buy? I don't know. If you don't know, it simply means she cannot buy anything, right? Good. She buys a car. Do you know what she buys? Yes, we do. What does she buy? She buys a car. So in the second example, she buys a car. We understand completely, we understand clearly that she buys a car, and the actions of buy can be performed simply because we have got the performer, that is the subject she, and then the receiver of the action, that is a car. She buys a car, you see. So it is possible to buy now because we have got something to buy already. Good. He runs. Is it a sentence or does it make sense? He runs? Yes or no? No. Oh, no. He runs is a different sentence from the previous pairs of sentences. He runs makes sense. He runs is a sentence, although it doesn't have any word following the verb run, but he runs makes sense. Why? Think about the verb run and compare run and eat. Can you eat if you do not have anything to eat? You cannot eat, right? But what about run? In order to run, you do not have to have anything. You just run. Think about I coughed. Cough, you see? In order to be able to cough, you don't need anything in order to be able to cough. You just need to cough. You see? It is very possible. So it doesn't need anything after it. So just the action is enough to perform. You see, to perform the action. Is it enough? Yes, it is enough. So he runs makes sense. It is a sentence because the action is possibly performed without having anything right after the verb runs. John walks, the same. John walks in order to be able to walk. He just walks. You see, you come. You see. In order to be able to come, you just have to come and then you can come. You see, I cough. Okay, so he runs makes sense. John walks makes sense. You come makes sense. I cough makes sense. In other words, we say that he runs. In that sentence, the main verb doesn't need an object. It doesn't need an object, and that is why we do not see any object following the main verb. You see? What about we eat bread? We eat bread. Bread, it can be said that we can say that bread is the object of the verb eat. So some verbs in English need objects, where some other verbs in English do not need objects. For verbs that need object, we have to give those verbs objects so that they can have full meaning. If they need objects and if we don't give them objects, and then they cannot have full meaning. However, some other verbs in English language do not need objects. Why do they not need objects? Because they can have full meaning by themselves. For example, like the verb cough. Cough. So in order to perform the actions of coughed, you just have to do it. You don't need any objects. You don't need any receiver of the action. Okay? Just cough and then you can cough. It is possible to cough. But is it possible to buy without having anything to buy? No, it is not possible, right? Just like she buys a car. In order to buy, in order to perform the actions of buy, you need to have something to buy. That is a car, right? Good. I hope you guys understand. In this slide, what I want to show you is that in order to write a sentence, first of all, you need to understand and remember that a sentence is a combination of words which must consist at least of a subject, a verb, and a complement. A complement can be an object of the verbs. You see, however, in some sentences, where the main verbs do not need objects, and then we do not have to give objects to those verbs, and they can make sense by themselves, such as in the example of he runs, John walks, you come, and I cough. In these examples, all the verbs do not need objects, and they can have complete meaning by themselves, and therefore if they have complete meaning by themselves, the whole sentences also make sense, and they can be called sentences in English. Okay, I hope you guys understand, because I'm speaking English, okay, every word in English, so I hope you understand, and if you do not understand, you can always ask me question. All right, now please move on. So in English language, in order to write sentences in English language, you need to know that we have many different kinds of verbs in English, and it is important to know those verbs so that you know how to write sentences properly. So types of verb number one. All right, so what is the first types of verb that I'm going to show you today? So the first types of verb is called as linking verbs. All right, linking verbs. Linking verb is the first types of verb that we will discuss about today. So what are linking verbs in English language, and what is the definitions of linking verbs? Linking verbs are verbs that link the subjects to their complements. I'll repeat the definitions of linking verb once again. Linking verbs are verbs that link the subject to their complements. Linking verbs do not have any actions. They are non-action verbs, and their complements are just their complement. They are not objects of the verbs. Because linking verbs have no action, they cannot take any objects. Okay, so just remember that linking verbs are verbs that link subjects to their complements, and linking verbs do not have any actions, and they do not take any objects, but they just take complement. All right, now let's see what are some examples of linking verbs in English language. Verbs that link a subject to its complement. This is the definitions of linking verbs that I have just told you, and here are some examples of linking verbs in English. There's not so many linking verbs. I think according to my research I have found around 30 linking verbs in English language, and I think there are not many. Okay, so what are those linking verbs? We have look, be, feel, taste, smell, become, sound, seem, grow, remain, turn, go, get, stay, etc. So we have all of these as our linking verbs. So yeah, when they are linking verbs, they can also be called as non-action verbs, and be careful with the translation, because they are non-action verbs. They do not take any object. So when you do the translation of linking verbs, be careful. Okay, I think I should translate some of these verbs into Khmer language for you, so that you have got an idea how to translate all the linking verbs in English language. Okay, so look, ភាសាខ្មែរយើងបកថាមើលទៅដូចជាវាមានពាក្យអភិជានឹងកតុយហ្នឹងហើយមើលទៅដូចជា be គឺជា feel ហាក់បីដូចជា taste នឹងប្រែថាមានរសជាតិដូចជា smell ធំក្លិនដូចជា become คล้ายទៅជា sound គឺថាស្ដាប់ឮទៅដូចជា seem ហាក់បីដូចជា grow គឺថារីកដុះដាលទៅជា remain បន្សល់នៅជា turn ប្រែคล้ายទៅជា go คล้ายទៅជាអញ្ចឹងទៅណា so this is how we translate all of these linking verbs into Khmer language, and be careful, and I will give you some examples, and we will try to do the translation all together into Khmer language. All right, now let's see some examples. Oh well, before seeing the example, here is the formula of linking verb in sentence structure. All right, so we can write, there is a formula of a sentence that is written with linking verb. But what is the formula of a sentence when linking verb is used? So when you use linking verb, please do not forget this structure. Whenever we write a sentence, remember to start your sentence, always start your sentence with our subject. Okay, and after the subject, it must be a verb. All right, and our verb now is linking verb. All right, so we are trying to use linking verb. If we choose to use linking verb and then